Hi. So, yeah, it's been a very long day. First of all, welcome back to the Irish Teacher. Love doing this. Tell myself on the ride home, do this when you get home as soon as possible. So here I am. I just got home recently, and I am beat. It's been a very, very long, trying day. I pretty much was at work for 11 hours today because then we had school, then we had a soccer game, and then we had a parent night. Um, so I was at that, which was crazy. And I got to meet a lot of parents, which is cool. But yeah, so what to say? What to say? This is probably gonna be a little shorter than usual. I'll get back into more details later on. But just because I'm so tired, I have to get up early because tomorrow I'm traveling about some distance north. I'm not exactly sure how long it'll take me to get there because there's probably Google Map it. But I have to go tomorrow to this whole day of workshops and stuff for teachers, and I'm checking out all these different things for English teachers and stuff. And it's going to be hopefully interesting. I'm hoping not boring, which would suck. But yeah, so I'll be doing that all day tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so what I want to talk about briefly is, and like I said before, I'll go into more detail later. And I'm just just kind of give you a quick summary of things I want to talk about a little bit tonight, and whenever I get another chance to film another video. I think some things that are really interesting to think about are just the fact that right now I've been having to kind of relearn a lot of things they taught me in college. During education classes and stuff, you're constantly talking about teaching English, so we don't really talk about. You briefly talk about classroom management. You don't really ever get into a lot of detail with that until you hit student teaching, which then it hits it like a ton of bricks right in the face. So you'll learn a few things quickly, but you never spend a lot of time discussing good methods of classroom management, especially what to do with a really defiant class that's not interested in classroom management, unless the other one's managing the class. So that's been really, really interesting for me to learn. I've been making successes here and mistakes there, so I'm learning slowly, but I wish that's something that I had kind of been prepared for more. Mind you, I go to a school that is pretty renowned in this region of the country for being a great teaching school, but and one of the few that are like nationally accredited. So it's got that reputation, and yet that's something we don't really ever get into a lot of detail. It's something that I feel like was kind of overlooked. We covered a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that department should cover, but there's so many different aspects of teaching that there are just a few things that definitely we're really not going to be able to hit, and that was one of them. Being able to spend some really good time on classroom management and stuff. So that's something I wish we talked about more. And that's something you're going to really. I think on the other side of that is no matter how much you talk about it, you're really not going to learn how to handle a classroom until you go out and do it. So I'm slowly learning how to do that, and we'll see how that goes. That'll be an adventure and a half. But yeah. So some other stuff I want to talk about at some point is really interesting ways to kind of get involved with the students. Just show them that you're interested in them. You're not just some teacher who's just going to spout out information at them, expect them to retain it. But also talking about getting to them outside of the classroom. A lot of my students at my school play soccer. It's a really small school, so that's pretty much the only sport they have in the fall is soccer. But yeah, we also have a lot of home games after school, like right after school. So I can get done work and then I can head right up to the field and watch a game for a while. And I really recommend that for any teacher. That a lot of teachers in my school, they don't really go to those games. Aside from the coaches, who most of whom are teachers, I only ever see one other teaching person there, and she's a soccer mom. She's got a kid on the team. So actually, multiple kids on the teams. So yeah, so if you get a chance, go, because the students will notice that, and they really appreciate you going to these games. I missed one actually. I missed half. There was a weekend where they had girls playing first and the boys afterwards, and I just mixed the time to something. I got there in time for the boys, but I just missed the girls, and and they did not. They reminded me during the school that it's like, oh hey, you go to the boys' games, but the girls' games, and I was like, sorry. So yeah, now I make a point to go to all their games, everyone's games. So high school, middle school, boys, girls. So that's definitely something you should do, because it's a lot of fun. You get to know your students outside the classrooms. They get to see you outside of the school, and you just have a lot more opportunities to get to interact with them, which is great. I actually, not yesterday, but the day before, yeah, day before, we had there was a soccer game going on. It was the high school boys, maybe. I want to say no. It was the middle school, and me and a bunch of the high school kids we were hanging out behind the field, and we were just kind of we had a little soccer ball game going on. We were just kind of kicking it around, having fun, and I got like run down by one of my students. It's like this, she's this tiny little thing, and we were both going for the ball. We were kind of like coming at it almost at the same sort of side, and she just kind of. I was in my mind, I was like, "Oh my God, this is a student. I should probably back off because I don't want to hurt one of my students." She didn't have that thought. She was just kind of like push me down and just come on with the ball. And then a couple seconds later, she just realized what she had done. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "What? You're tiny. I'm twice your size." So that was a kind of a funny moment. Um, and then we had just a ton of moments like that where it was I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. There were just a lot of great moments in that game. So, and then the students appreciated that. They had fun with me. I had fun with them. I wish I'd brought cleats or something, because trying to play soccer and teaching shoes is not easy. I had one moment where I ran for the ball, and I like had to do a quick turn, and my foot just, I was turning, my foot didn't. It kept going, and I ended up doing like an awkward split thing, and that was painful in half. But yeah, so that was fun. And yeah, so definitely go to those kind of events to have those opportunities, because they're just so much fun, so worth it. They really are. So yeah, I'm also going to say, to just kind of shift gears, that there are a lot of things they tell you not to do in college that you're eventually going to find yourself either doing or thinking about doing. Like, excuse me, I had a class that was really defiant about reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and I had said, yeah, at some point, because I was just getting so annoyed with the exchange going back and forth, like, "You're reading it because I told you to. I'm the teacher, and I'm telling you, you have to read this." So that was not one of my best moments. That's something that my teachers, not my teachers, professors, and college were telling me, "Don't do that. You're going to eventually say it, but try not to do that." And in my mind, when I heard that, I was like, "I'm not going to say that." But so yeah, that slipped out a couple of days ago. So that wasn't one of my best moments. Um, so yeah, I there's other things as well, and it's excuse me. I'll get into those in a later episode, probably the next one, hopefully. And yeah, so that's pretty much a really kind of shortened version of what I'd like to be talking about. There's a ton of other things I want to talk about too, and I'm probably going to get to that hopefully this weekend. Um, Hopefully, we'll see. I'd really like to. But yeah, so that's just kind of a really quick idea of what's been going on this past week. Some stuff for you guys to think about. And yeah. So with that, without further ado, thank you for watching The Irish Teacher, and I will be seeing you guys next time. All right, thanks a lot.